Hey everybody, it's Eric, 80s Horror Man here, and welcome to day 28 for my 31 Days of Horror. Today I'll be doing a movie that was done in 1986, and that's Slaughter High. Now, this movie is a classic slasher 80s horror movie, if you want to call it a slasher. This movie starts off with this nerd, a dork, by the name of Marty Ranson, and he's got the hots for this one girl by the name of Carol, who's played by Carolyn Monroe, who's known for playing in that classic slasher 80s horror movie, Maniac. So she sets to lead him into the girls' locker room, and her friends, who are also pranksters, don't really like Marty very well, decide to play a little prank on Marty. Like they walk past the billboard and yank the little paper calendar off for the last day of March, revealing it's actually April 1st, April Fool's Day. So they all gathered into the girls' locker room, getting ready to set up to pull the prank on Marty. And Carol tells Marty to get into the shower and get undressed, and she'll be right in to join him. So she ends up taking this bra, which is supposedly hers, but it's not, and just flips it over the wall. And he's getting really excited, saying like, "Oh my God, you can't believe this is actually happening." That he's going to be getting it on with the girl that he has the hots for. Then and all of a sudden, as soon as he opens the shower curtain, there's her and all of her pranksters, her friends, in the girls' locker room, just right there with the bright lights, the video camera, right? And just saying, April Fools, where's the beef? So, or they end up picking on this nerd so bad. Like he tries to escape. Next year, he tries to grab a hold of the doorknob, and next year, he gets a little shock because they had the doorknob wired. And all of a sudden, two of the pranksters had to pick him up and decided to give him a swirly. And then that's when the gym coach comes walking in, breaks everything up. So now they're in trouble. So now they're in like detention with the gym coach while Marty is in a chemistry class working on his project by himself. All of a sudden, the main jock decides break away from detention and just to get into the chemistry room and just to add a little something into Marty's little science project for his chemistry. And then soon as he gets back to gym class and Marty realizes that something's wrong with his project, how it's like bubbling and everything, and that's when the loose shelf containing nitric acid just falls, splashes in his face, and the chemistry class just blows up. But and all the pranksters run out of gym class to see what happened. And next you know they see that the chemistry class blew up, and they see Marty completely scarred on this side of the face and grabs a hot pipe and just screaming in agony. So they realize that they end up taking it a little bit too far when they end up doing some serious damage to Marty. So many years go by, they all get an invitation to show up for their high school reunion. So they show up at the high school, and turns out the high school is like completely abandoned, and there's no one else at this reunion except for the pranksters. So it would definitely be odd showing up at an abandoned high school when there's no one else there at this reunion except for you guys. So once inside the abandoned school, or Marty decides to take revenge and on these pranksters by just pulling out all these deadly tricks and traps on the pranksters. So you could say that Marty's actually getting even with the pranksters, and he's like out for revenge for what they did to him. But there are some comedic moments, and there are some jokes that are very funny in this movie. But overall, this is actually a very fun movie to watch. Even though when I watched this movie for the first time, I was a little bit confused in the end, but the more I watched it, the more I understood it. So, Slaughter High from 1986, out of a possible 10, I give this movie 6.5 out of 10. Again, this is actually a very fun movie, and it's actually not bad. The main theme music is very catchy. Even though if you watch the special features, this movie was supposed to be regularly called April Fool's Day, but since they decided to do a movie April Fool's Day, they decided to call this one Slaughter High. But it does have special features. It's got audio commentary with the writer and directors, interview with the composer, Harry Manfredini, including a few isolated music and sound effects selections, featurettes that go into pieces with the writer and director, My Days at Doddsville with actress Kayla Monroe, alternate title sequence, theatrical trailer, radio spots, and still gallery. So again, Slaughter High, 6.5 out of 10 for this movie. Again, it's actually not bad and it's actually very fun to watch. Alright guys, so that's it for day 28 for my 31 Days of Horror. What did you guys think? Have you seen this movie before? If so, please let me know in the comments down below. I'd like to hear your thoughts. Also, like and subscribe to the channel and stay tuned for some more videos for the 31 Days of Horror. Later.